Thank you everyone for joining me for yoga tonight. We're going to do a lot of standing poses this evening. So remember again just to work at your own pace. So if you're feeling any pain, please come out of the poses. If you've just done a class or you've had a hard day, just choose the level that's right for you this evening. So standing at the front of your mat, feet are close together, arms down by the side. I'm going to start by inhaling, taking the arms up, so nice and slow. Hands come together, pausing, and then exhaling, hands, arms coming all the way down. So you're going to do this. If you want to close your eyes, feel welcome to close your eyes, otherwise you can keep them open. Breathing in and out through your nose, counting to maybe 4 on the way up. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pausing for 1 or 2. Exhaling, bringing those arms down, nice and slow. One more time, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause for 2, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Taking the hands up onto the shoulders, just going to do some circles for our shoulders, bringing the elbows, touching towards each other, just doing nice big circles, going one way, and then the other. And then just releasing the hands down to the side, taking the arms up to the sides. We're going to just bend the fingers up towards the ceiling, so really stretching out through the palms, and then bending the wrists and pointing the fingers down, pointing them up and down. One more time, up and then down, starting to work into the arms and bringing them up, keeping them like this and really pushing out through the palms of your hand, really reaching out those arms and keeping them nice and active. Just standing about hip width distance apart with your feet. I'm going to inhale, I'm going to twist to the right. So we're going to look at the right hand, inhale, twisting around so the hand comes towards the back of the room, just keeping those arms nice and in the same line. Inhale back to center, exhale twisting around to the left. Inhale back to center, keeping those arms pushing out. Inhale, twist. Exhale back to center. One more time to the left. And back to center. And releasing those arms down. Inhale, taking the right arm up overhead. Exhale, bending over to the left. Really stretching out the side body. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, release that hand. The other side. Inhale, left arm comes up. Exhale, bending over to the right. Inhale to come up. Exhale, hands down. Once more, inhale, coming up, bending over. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, lifting the left arm up, joining hands. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, bringing those arms down. Inhale, left arm comes up. Again, either choosing to stay here or bringing that right arm up. And coming back to center and release those arms. Standing with the feet nice and close together, coming into mountain pose or Tadasana. Drawing the kneecaps up to engage the legs, drawing the navel into the spine. Taking the hands out to face the front of the room, rolling those shoulder blades back and down, and just really focusing on lengthening through the spine, standing up nice and tall. I'm going to inhale, take the arms up overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Bending the knees if you need to in our forward fold, dropping the head. Inhale, taking the hands to the shins, lengthening out through the spine into our half forward fold. Exhale, release. Inhale, stepping back with the right leg, bringing that right knee to the mat, just releasing the foot to the floor. We're going to come up into our low lunge. Exhale, bringing the hands into the heart center and turning to the left, twisting and wrapping that right elbow on the knee if that's comfortable, looking over the left shoulder. And exhale, releasing back to center. Then we're going to this time take the hands down beside the foot and we're going to take the right knee off the mat, coming into like a runner's lunge. Just really grounding through the feet and placing your hands onto your left knee, coming up into a high lunge. Inhale, taking the arms up overhead if that's comfortable for you. And then we're going to step that right foot forward. So if you need to take a couple of steps, that's fine. Otherwise, we're just stepping forward, bringing the feet together, arms up overhead, and then exhale, sitting back into chair pose. So just sitting that bottom back, coming up, and we're going to come into warrior three from here. So we're going to sit back into chair pose. We're going to sweep those arms alongside our body, standing, taking the weight into the right leg and bringing the left leg up towards hip height. Just trying to keep those hips level so you're not sort of leaning over to one side or the other. So it's a bit of a balance work. Then step that left foot back forward and sitting back into our chair pose again. And exhale, folding forward. Stepping back with the feet, coming into our plank pose. Either choosing to lower from here or taking those elbows close into the body. Just slowly lowering down. Taking the arms out so that the elbows are underneath the shoulders. Feet are nice and flat on the floor. And just drawing those hands in towards the body, coming into Sphinx pose. So we will be doing a few back bends today. This is the simplest version. So if you wanted to stay with the Sphinx pose, just stay with this one. So I'm going to exhale, release, taking the hands in line with the chest, tucking the toes, lifting the hips and pushing up into downward dog. Just keeping the knees bent if you need to, your hamstrings are tight. Lengthening out through the spine. And then just looking up towards the hands and just slowly walking forward, back into our forward fold. Again, keeping the knees bent if you need to in this pose. Inhale, take the hands to the shins and lengthen out through the spine. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing. Exhale, bringing those hands into the heart center. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, hands to the shins, lengthening out through that spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stepping back with the left leg. Bring that left knee to the mat, coming up into our low lunge. Exhale, bringing those hands back down, tucking the back toes and bringing that left knee off the mat, preparing to come up into our high lunge. So really pushing the feet into the mat, bringing the hands up. You can either come up by coming up onto the knees or just coming straight up. And from here, we're going to step forward into chair pose. So if you need to take a couple of steps, otherwise stepping forward, sitting back, chair pose. This time taking the weight into the left foot, we're going to sweep those arms through, taking the right leg out behind into warrior three. Lifting that leg up. And inhale, sweep the arms up, bring the leg forward, back into chair. Well done, everyone. Exhale, folding forward. Stepping back into plank. Tucking those elbows and lowering down. Either choosing to stay with Sphinx pose, especially if you do have any back problems. Otherwise, pushing the feet into the mat, rolling the shoulder blades back. Inhale, lifting up, using those back muscles into Cobra. Exhale, folding forward, back onto the mat. Taking the hands back in line with the chest and coming back up into downward dog. So lifting up the hips towards the ceiling and pushing the torso back towards the thighs. So from here, we're going to inhale and we're going to raise the right leg up towards the ceiling. We're going to bend that knee, opening up the hip, coming into three-legged dog and then bending the knee. We're going to inhale and take that right foot in between the hands. So sweeping that leg through and pivoting on the back foot so that the back heel comes to the mat, preparing to come up into Warrior Two. We're going to inhale, really push down through the feet. Inhale, coming up, opening up the arms, looking over the front fingertips. Making sure the knee isn't dropping in, but it's heading over towards the second toe. So from here, we're going to straighten out front leg. Inhale, reaching forward. Exhale, dropping that right hand to the shin and opening up to the left side, coming into triangle pose. So if it's comfortable for your neck, looking up towards the left thumb. Inhale, bending that front knee, bringing the arms back up, coming back into Warrior Two. Taking the arms behind you, clasping the hands and lifting them up. We're going to inhale, come forward, keeping that knee bent, bringing the chest forward towards the right thigh. Inhale to come back up. Release the arms. Taking the hands into prayer position, just turning so that the chest is facing back towards the front of your mat. We're going to step forward onto the right leg. We're going to come into standing pigeon from here. So we're going to inhale, just bending that knee. You might need to step that foot forward a little bit. Bending the left knee and placing it over the right thigh. And then just sitting down in our standing pigeon. Fixing your gaze on a point on the floor or the wall just to help with the balance. And then straightening that right leg. I'm going to take the left leg and bend it, coming into a quad stretch. Just pushing that left hip forward. Inhale, taking the right arm up. Either choosing to stay here, just getting that quad stretch, or you can just come forward into dancer's pose. Pushing that right foot into the hand. Inhale, coming back up. Beautiful balances, everyone. Exhale, drop that foot down. And inhale, coming into chair pose. Sitting back. Exhale, fold forward. Coming back into plank. Taking the feet towards the back of the mat. And tucking the elbows in. Lowering down. Again, either choosing to stay with Sphinx or Cobra, or coming up into upward dog. So upward dog is the arms straight, and the thighs are actually off the mat. So the weight is on the feet and the hands. Exhale, release down to the mat. Take the hands in line with the chest, tuck the toes, and back to downward dog. Checking the weight is even between the hands. Inhale, lift that left leg up towards the ceiling. Bending that knee, dropping the foot towards the bottom, opening up the hip. Looking towards the hands, going to sweep that leg forward, stepping the left foot in between the hands, the mat. Preparing to come up into Warrior Two, engaging through the feet. Inhale, opening up the arms. Stretching the fingers out. Really reaching forward and back with the hands. Straightening the front leg. Inhale, reaching forward, dropping that left hand to the shin and opening up to the right into triangle. Looking at the right thumb if it's comfortable for your neck. Inhale, coming back up, arms are out in Warrior Two, bending that front knee. Taking the arms behind again, clasping the fingers together. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, folding forward. With that knee still bent into Humble Warrior. Inhale to come up. Releasing the hands, bringing them into the heart center. Just turning so the chest is facing the front of the mat. And again, stepping forward into our standing pigeon. So fix your gaze to a point on the floor. And come forward, taking the weight into the left leg. Bending the right knee. Crossing the right foot over. And just sitting back slightly. Straightening the left leg, releasing that leg. Coming into our quad stretch on this side. Inhale, bringing that arm up, either staying here or coming forward into dancer's pose. It's a tricky one. And inhale, coming back up. Exhale, releasing that foot. Sitting back, coming into our chair pose. And then fold forward. Stepping back into plank. Lowering down towards the mat. And again, choosing which back bend variation you're going to do. Sphinx, cobra, or up dog. And then from here, coming back into down dog. Lifting up the hips towards the ceiling and sinking the heels towards the mat, lengthening out through the spine. Looking between the hands, stepping forward with the right foot, and come back into our low lunge. So inhale, bring those arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down, straighten out through that front leg into half splits. Remembering that the more you pull your toes towards you, the more the stronger the stretch will be through the back of that leg. So you can just stay with this, or if you want to make it work a little bit harder, I'm going to come from here into standing splits. So bring the weight forward and bring that right foot to the mat. Take the hands forward as well. Pick up that back knee. Just pivoting forward a bit and lifting up the left leg, bending over the right leg. And then exhale, bring that left foot to the mat. And we're going to step from here back into plank. Lowering down, making sure those elbows are tucked in. And again, choosing your back bend variation. And coming back into downward dog. Just catching your breath, staying here for a moment. Look up towards the right hand, bending that right knee, bringing the right knee up behind that right hand, stretching the left leg nice and long, coming into our pigeon pose. So lengthening out through the spine first, making sure the spine's nice and long, and then folding forward to whatever level suits you tonight. Trying to keep the hips even. If this causes any knee issues, just keeping that right foot flex will help protect the knee. Just really relaxing into the pose, just allowing the body to soften, to sink into the mat. Breathing into any areas of tension. Relaxing on the exhale. Taking 3 more deep breaths. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Slowly making your way up, bringing the hands underneath the body. We're just going to come back up onto like a tabletop position. And we're going to come into dolphin pose. So again, choose your level that you wish to work at tonight. So we're taking the elbows and the forearms down to the mat and just checking the hands around the elbows just to get the right width between where your arms are, and then swinging the hands out in front of you, clasping the hands together. And then just tucking that little finger under. So the first level is to just stay here and push those forearms into the mat, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. The next level is to tuck the toes and to lift up the hips towards the ceiling. So if you want to work a little bit harder, you can just bring your face over your hands, either with the bottom down, you can do it at this level as well, or if the bottom's up, just bringing the face over the hands and pushing back. Maybe doing 5 of those push-ups in a dolphin pose if you're choosing that level. And then when you finish, just coming back to sit in child's pose. So just with your bottom resting on your feet and folding forward, and bringing the arms out alongside the body and resting the head onto the mat if it reaches. Putting the arms alongside the body just will allow those, with the palms facing up, we'll just allow those shoulders to release a little bit. Again, just focus on breathing deeply in this pose, getting an abdominal massage. And then slowly coming back up onto all fours, stretching out the hands, tucking the back toes, and coming back up into our downward dog. So lifting the hips, pushing the chest towards the thighs. Coming right up onto the balls of the feet, and then slowly pushing the chest towards the thighs before sinking the heels back. Looking at the left wrist, coming into our pigeon pose on the other side. So bending that left knee, bring the knee up behind the wrist, lengthening out through the right leg, lengthening out through the spine. And then on the exhale, just folding forward again, coming down to whatever level. Just coming back to your breath, allowing any thoughts to just float away. Just focusing on being here and now and how your body is feeling. pushing back up. Tucking the back foot, coming back up into our last downward dog of the evening. Just check to see whether your heels are any closer to the mat than when we started the class. And just slowly walking up towards the hands, just coming into a forward fold, bending the knees if you need to, taking the hands around the elbows and just letting the head hang. Releasing tension from the upper body. Just releasing the arms and sitting the bottom back, bending the knees and just slowly rolling up. One vertebra at a time, rolling the shoulder blades up and back. Inhaling, taking the arms out. Exhale, bringing the hands into the heart center. Just closing the eyes here for a moment, taking this time to reconnect with the breath. Opening your eyes, releasing the hands, taking your arms down, coming towards the front of your mat, taking the feet out nice and wide, coming into our squat pose. So we're going to inhale and squat down and hold. And we're going to then come back up. Inhale, sitting back down, bringing the arms up, hold. Exhale to come back up. Inhale, bring the arms up, sit the bottom back. Last time. Exhale, coming up. Then this time coming all the way to the mat. Inhale, taking the arms up. Exhale, sitting that bottom back. Bring the hands into the heart center. If you need to be, if you're up on your toes a little bit, that's fine. And we're just going to release the hands to, if you're at the front of your mat, just grabbing onto the front of the mat so you can pull yourself forward. We're just going to come into kneeling from here. So you can either just stay facing forward if you've got space on the side of you to stick, coming into gate pose. So you need to have room to take your leg out to the side. If you don't, you can just change so you're facing the long edge of your mat. We're just going to take the left leg out and the foot is parallel and hopefully on the ground. If that's not comfortable, you can have your heel up, your toe up with just the heel on. So taking the left hand and just placing the palm face up alongside that leg. We're going to inhale, taking the right arm up overhead and folding over. Coming into a nice stretch for the side. So either staying here or if you want to work a little bit harder, just picking that left hand up, so like you're holding a giant ball. And exhale, bring that hand down and come back to the middle, changing sides, taking that right leg out. Again, either having the toes up or if it's comfortable, turning the foot so it's parallel to your mat, taking the right palm onto the right leg. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, stretching over. Staying here, or inhale, just lifting that right arm up slightly, like you're holding a big ball. And exhale, bring that hand down and coming back. Bring the knees in together, just really squeezing those legs in together. Pushing the hips slightly forward, we're going to come into camel pose. So we're going to take the hands onto the back of the body. If you can, place your fingers facing upwards, but just on the small on your back. If that doesn't work, you can just have the fingers pointed down. Otherwise, roll the shoulder blades back and down. Inhale, push those hips forward. And again, if you don't have any neck issues, you can look up towards the ceiling. If you do have any neck issues, just keep that chin tucked. And exhale, slowly coming back up, bringing the head up and sitting back onto the heels if it's comfortable. If this isn't comfortable, just stay up in a kneeling position. We're just going to do a tricep stretch. So we're going to inhale, take the right arm up, bending it behind you, taking the left hand onto the right elbow, either staying here or you can take that left arm up and just rotate the arm first before you wrap it around. So if you rotate the arm, then wrap it up behind you, it's a little bit easier to sometimes get those hands together. If you can't quite get there with your hands, you can just reach your fists, clench your fists and just take them towards each other. Otherwise you can still stay up here. Normally one side is a lot easier than the other side. And exhale, release. Inhale, take that left arm up, bending the left elbow and taking the right arm on top, just pushing the arm down to start with. That also helps to sometimes reach the hands together. Taking that right arm out, rotating that shoulder and then taking it behind, maybe grabbing the other hand, maybe just reaching. And exhale, release. Taking the feet out from underneath you, bringing the legs out in front. Engaging the legs by drawing the feet towards your body. Coming into straight rod pose. So taking the arms, the hands down beside your hips. Again, rolling those shoulder blades back and down. Inhale, lengthening up through the spine. Really working on our posture. It's really important to correct all the sitting and all the sort of hunching we do working on computers, looking at our phones. And exhale, release. Bending the right leg, crossing it over the left. Keeping that left leg nice and strong and active by keeping that foot flexed. Inhale, lengthen up through the spine. Wrapping that left arm around. Exhale, turning around to the right, twisting around to the right. Looking over that right shoulder. Inhale, lengthening up through the spine. Exhale, perhaps twisting a little bit further. And exhale, release. Taking that right leg out, keeping that right knee bent and bringing the left sole in to meet the right. Coming into our bound angle pose, or sometimes called butterfly. So just allowing those knees to drop out. You're going to inhale, lengthen up through the spine, and then exhale, folding forward. Just focusing again on the inhale and the exhale. Through the nose if it's comfortable. Feeling the belly expand on the inhale. And releasing the hands. Straightening out the right leg and bending the left knee over the top of the right leg. Flexing the right foot, coming into our twist on the opposite side. So inhaling, lengthen up through the spine, wrapping that right elbow around, exhaling, twisting over, looking over the left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. forward fold. So you can bend your knees as much as you want to in this position. The goal of the position is not to necessarily come all as far as the way forward you can. If you're punching around in your spine, that's not the aim. The aim is still to keep that spine nice and long and then to come forward. So if you can only come forward a little bit, that's fine. You can bend the knees slightly, which gives you a little bit more of a forward fold. If you're really flexible or you've got really long arms, you might be able to fold forward, perhaps grabbing the toes. But once you get to your maximum fold, whatever that may be, just allow the head to relax. So just looking down towards the legs, allow the head to drop, turning inwards. And we're just going to focus on our breath and do a bit of breath work in this pose. So you can just relax the arms alongside the body. I'm going to focus on breathing and extending our exhale. So breathing in perhaps to a count of 4, holding the breath for 2, pausing, and then exhaling for a count of 5 or 6 or 8 if that's comfortable. Just whatever is comfortable for you without any forcing. So you want to inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause for 1, 2, then exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So just do this in your own time, whatever breath count suits you, but we're really just trying to focus on making the exhale longer. And this is one of the easiest ways, if you're stressed, that you can start to turn off that stress response and get the body back into its rest and relaxation mode. Might be a good practice to do just lying in bed before you go to sleep if you're feeling particularly stressed. So maybe just doing one more round of the counting, extending the exhale. Alongside, coming into boat pose. So again, working at your own level. If you've already done a lot of ab work tonight, you might just want to stay here. Otherwise, slightly rocking back and bringing those shins parallel to the floor is the second level. And if you're feeling super strong, taking the legs up towards the ceiling, straightening the legs out, I should say. Again, just choosing whatever is right for you tonight. And then just slowly rolling back, coming down to lying on our backs. Just careful you don't bump your head when you come back down. Make sure you're far enough forward on your mats. And we're going to inhale. Make sure the feet are nice and close to the bottom. So you should be almost able to touch them with your fingertips. I'm going to inhale, take the arms up overhead. And exhale, bring the hands down. One more time. Inhale, take the arms up overhead. Opening up through the shoulders. Exhale, bring the arms back down. This time lifting up the hips at the same time as the arms. Inhale, lifting up those hips, bringing the chest towards the chin. And exhale, rolling back down. So coming into our floating bridge. Inhale to come up. Again, just doing this in time with your own breath. Pushing those hips up and exhale, coming back down. Doing a few more, connecting your movement with your breath. one more inhale. And then exhale. And this time just leaving those hands down beside the body. Inhaling, bringing those hips up. Just coming into bridge pose, holding. If it's comfortable, you can clasp your hands underneath and just roll those shoulder blades together, pushing those hips up towards the ceiling. And if you clasp your hands, releasing the hands and slowly coming back down. Just bringing those knees in towards the body, giving yourself a little hug, a little rock from side to side. And we're going to take the arms out nice and wide at shoulder height, leaving the knees bent at a 90-degree angle. And we're going to inhale and twist over to the right side. Not dropping the knees all the way to the mat, using those side abdominal muscles, the obliques, to bring the knees back up to center. And then exhale the knees over to the left side. So again, only going as far as is comfortable for you. So the feet should be off the floor. Dropping those knees over to the right side. On the inhale, exhale back to center and to the left side. Inhale, bring them back. This time, next time you come to the right, coming all the way over. Allowing the knees to drop to the mat. And looking out along the left hand if that's comfortable for your neck. You can increase the twist by lengthening the left leg, so straightening that left leg, the upper leg. You grab onto it with your right hand. And exhale, release. Inhale, coming back to center. And exhaling over to the opposite side. Looking over the right fingertips. Again, staying here or choosing to straighten the right leg, perhaps grabbing onto it with your left hand around the back of the calf. Releasing the top leg. Inhale, bringing the knees back up to center and placing the feet onto the mat. So the knees are still bent. We're actually going to take the knees further away from the body, so taking the feet out a little bit further and wider. So the legs are wider apart. And we're going to inhale and drop the knees to the right. Then back to center. Exhale them over to the left. Coming into windscreen wipers. Inhale, bring them back. This time we're going to leave them over to the right side. So both knees are coming onto the right side. They shouldn't be touching, they should be separate from each other. And then if you want to increase the stretch, just picking up that right foot and placing it on top of the left knee. Just stretching out through the hip flexors and the ITB, the psoas muscle. Releasing that right foot. Inhale, bring the knees back to center. Exhaling over to the left side. And if you want to increase that stretch, just popping that left foot onto the right knee. Feeling the stretch down through the right hip and ITB. And release that leg. Inhale, bring the knees back to center. And just stretching out the legs. preparing to come into our relaxation for this evening. If you do have anything, if you're a little bit cold, you might want to get something warm to put on or a blanket to put over you. So as it's getting colder, it's a good idea to have something warm to put on during relaxation, just because you can, if you get cold, that can be very distracting. So just stretching the legs out nice and long. If that causes you any pain or tightness in your lower back, you can keep the knees bent. Taking the arms out alongside the body, just allowing the palms to come up, just allows the back and the shoulders to broaden. Just making sure your neck is not as long. The chin is slightly tucked, just to lengthen out through the back of that neck. And just lightly closing your eyes. And just turning your focus again to your breath, softly coming in and out through your nose, if it's comfortable. Start to allow the body to relax, to soften, softening the eyes and the jaw, lightly resting the tongue on the roof of the mouth. And imagine that your body is becoming lighter and lighter. So light you feel like you're floating up towards the ceiling. The head is light and weightless. The limbs are light and weightless. The torso is light and weightless. The whole body is light and weightless. So light, you're floating higher and higher towards the ceiling. Imagine that your body is becoming heavier and heavier. So heavy that you're sinking towards the floor. Your head is heavy. Your limbs are heavy. Your whole body is heavy. You're sinking more and more into your mat, into the floor, feeling supported. Just allowing yourself to have this moment of silence, of relaxation, allowing any thoughts to drift away. Coming back to focusing on your breath. attention back to your body, keeping your eyes closed. Feel your body on the mat. And visualize where you are in your room, lying on the mat. And just start to make some small movements, perhaps with your hands and your feet. Coming back into the body. Just when you feel ready, rolling over onto the side, just pausing there for a moment. And when you're ready, just slowly making your way up to a seated position, keeping your eyes closed if you can. Gently on your knees. And we're going to inhale. We're going to do a few nice deep breaths. Inhaling up, taking the arms up overhead. Exhale, pushing the arms back down. Inhale, scooping up that air, bringing the hands up. Nice big breath, exhaling it back down. One more time. Inhale, bring the hands up. This time exhaling, bring the hands into the heart center. Bowing the head. Namaste. Thank you everyone for joining me this evening.